Hi Flosstube, welcome back to my channel, Pages and Stitches. This is Kelly here. Today is my 6th Flosstube update. The date is April 30th, so we're just making it in under the wire for my April update, and then tomorrow may get started. So I've had, how much, like 4 or 5 weeks since the last update, so I've had plenty of time to kind of work on my projects, and I just wanted to share with you what I've been able to get done in the last month. I feel a lot better now because last month I didn't think I was being all that productive, but this month I definitely was able to accomplish a lot more than I was last time. I kind of like reversed my activity, because last month I feel like I did very little cross stitching and then a whole bunch of reading, and then this month I did like the opposite. So okay, so I have some haul to share with you. I have a new start as well as a finish, and I have a couple of whips to show you my progress on, and then we'll go over plans. I know next month is May for Stitch Mania, and I will go over what I'm going to be doing for Stitch Mania, and yeah, and then if you have any questions, of course, let me know down below. Mom, if you're watching this video, go away and come back. Don't watch it until after Mother's Day. You've been warned. First things first, let me do my reading update. I don't have nearly as much to show you as I did last time. The last book I was reading, I finished. That was The Invisible Life of Addie Laroux by V.E. Schwab. And then I just finished The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. And my current read is Her Soul to Take by Harley Laroux. That's it. You know, last month I think I read like 7 books, 6 or 7 books. This time around it was a more like normal number. I think I want to show you my haul first, and then we'll go from there. I just have a little bit, not too terribly much, but it is, you know, it is some haul. So, okay, the first bit of haul that I want to show you is my newest acquisition from Bella Filipina, and that is one of their newest patterns. This is Goddess Aphrodite. Let me get my ring light out of there. There she is. So she's on this gorgeous swan. She's being drawn in like a gold looking kind of sled thing. And she's just beautiful, as she should be. I mean, she's the goddess of beauty, so there she is. I was really excited to get her. I mean, I feel like they're cranking out patterns left and right, and they always seem to really impress me. So once this one came on the market, I got it from 123 Stitch, just about as soon as it was available. So she's gonna be added to my collection. And then my favorite online cross-stitch retailer, which is everythingcrossstitch.com, had a sale recently on Riolis kits, and I ordered a couple of those. So here's the first one. So I was just looking at this for a second because I realized I didn't know the title of it. Riolis, I think, is a Russian or maybe a Ukrainian company. And so for the most part, the descriptions and everything are in that language first and then English second. And I just realized I don't know the title of this kit, and if it's on here, it's in a language I can't read. So, oops. Anyways, this is it here. It's just a little black cat on a fence, very, very minimalist. And it's very small. As you can see, the finished size is a little bit smaller than 8 by 8 inches. Just looking for I was looking for like a product number to give you, but I don't know if that's on here. I'm just guessing. I'm assuming this right here might be the title. Couldn't tell you what that is. But anyways, it's on a 14 count beige Ada. right there. So the interesting thing about Riolis is that their kits are done with wool thread, acrylic blend wool thread, acrylic wool. It's wool thread blended with acrylic, but it's mostly wool. And so that makes the thread like fluffier, like fuzzier. So for the most part, and in the instructions, it tells you like how many threads to use and whether or not it's full cross or half cross. But it's like a unique material for me to use. I've never used it before. So this is, there's a bit of a learning curve with Riolis kits. But this one was on my wish list on Everything Cross Stitch for a while. So when it went on sale, I was like, oh, okay, I'll get it. And then I was just kind of like snooping around through the other kits that Riolis had out, and I got a couple of those. So I will show you those now. So here's the next one that I got, and this one, again, I don't know if there's a title or if there is, where the title is, but anyways, this one, well, I believe when I ordered it on the website, it was called Freesias, which is what these flowers are. So I really like those. I really liked this image, but I also really like Freesias. One of the first jobs I ever had was working in a grocery store, and I started out as a checker, but then I moved to the florist, the floral area, and I used to love when we had Freesias in stock because I always thought they smelled like Fruit Loops. If you're not in the US, that is a fruity cereal that's very sugary and sweet, and that's just what I always thought that these flowers smelled like. So I really like Freesias. So yeah, if that's the title, which I think it is, I'll insert everything down below, and of course I'll link everything down below too. But this one is a little bit bigger. This one is 15 3/4 by 11 3/4, and it's on a 14 count white Aida. Let me show you the back. Well, here, yeah. So all of their wool acrylic threads come on these like cards, all wrapped up. They give you plenty of thread, and the instructions tell you how many strands of each to use and whatnot. As you can see, somewhat like the background looks like it's mostly half cross, but I can't say for certain whether or not the main flowers are half or full. And to my knowledge, there's, wait a minute, I just noticed there's beads in here. Look, right here, there's little beads. So there's a little bit of beading. I was just about to say, to my knowledge, they only have a little bit of back stitching and French knots as the specialty stitching, but there's some beading as well, which is pretty cool. Looks like they go right in the center of like a lot of these flowers. I really like this color, like the color of these flowers. That's like one of my favorite colors. So that's Freesias, I believe. If it's not, I'll insert the correct title. And then the last kit that I got, the reason why I wanted to start with the haul is the last kit that I got, I went ahead and started, and I also finished it. So this next kit that I'm about to show you is my new start, and as well as my finish. Okay, so this next one is a Mother's Day present, which is why I went ahead and started it and went ahead and finished it so quickly. Mother's Day is, what, next weekend? The weekend after? I'll have to check. I think it's next weekend. But I went ahead and started, wanted to finish it because I'm going to give it to her for Mother's Day. So this next kit, which actually does have a title on it, believe it or not, is called Sparrow. And it's just this teeny tiny little kit. It's 4x4 finished. Teeny tiny little bird. She and I both really like birds. They, out on the property where they live, there's frequently like hummingbirds and blue jays and wrens and cardinals, just a bunch of cool birds, and they do a lot of bird watching from their back patio. So I just saw this and I thought, you know who would really like that? Mom. So since Mother's Day is in May, I figured it'd be a good Mother's Day gift. So let me show you the finished product. And here it is. This teeny tiny little birdie. And this is done on a 14 count flaxen Ada. So it's got like kind of a natural look to it. I don't know if flaxen is like the color or if it's the style of the fibers. I mean, Ada is a natural fiber from what I understand because it's all cotton, but I don't know. Somebody let me know. Is flaxen the color or is flaxen like the way the threads are finished together? I have no idea. And then another thing I wanted to mention about this is so it's mostly done 3/1 half cross, but because it's that wool acrylic blend, like the threads are super fluffy, they kind of puff up a little bit better and they really kind of filled out the grids there. There's one color on here, it's this dark black color that's kind of in a couple of stitches here on his eyes and his beak. That was done 2/1 full cross, but the rest of it is entirely half cross. And it's all 3/1. Other than this white part down here in the bottom part of his little fluffy body is done 1/1 half cross. So, yeah, I mean, it was definitely, there was a bit of a learning curve with using wool threads because it kind of felt, especially on this flaxen Ada, it just kind of felt like it was tugging a little bit differently. But once you kind of got the hang of it or got used to it, it was fine. You know, the back stitching went in the same, the French knots go in the same way. So it's just a matter of getting used to the different material and the different feel of it. But it turned out super stinking cute. This little fluffy butt is so cute. But the other thing I wanted to show you is because this little thing is so small, I went ahead and just, like, I couldn't fit it in a Q-snap. It's too tiny. So I just went ahead and used fray check on the edges. And I know somebody warned me against it when I mentioned it last because they said that the threads tend to catch on the edge, but they were catching on the edge anyways. So I just used a little bit of fray check. I mean, as you can see, it's dried nice and clear. And it's kept my edges from fraying, so it worked for me. And then here's the back. Back's not very neat. Oh well, I don't care. It's going in a frame. So next time I do a video, I will have this fully finished because I'll have it framed. But obviously I will have given it to her before then, so I'll have to do like a little video between now and then of what it looks like framed. But this is Sparrow. And there's a whole, let me show you this. So I didn't realize this whenever I was shopping around, but there's a whole collection of these little minimalist style animals from Riolis. And I will show you, there's some of them on the back of the little thing here. So this is obviously the cat that I showed you earlier. And there's another, I can't tell, I think this is a little fox, a little white fox. There's another kitty here. But there's other little animals that they had. Like I saw a hedgehog, there's an owl, or it might be two owls, like a little pair of owls. But they're all part of this same little family where they live on just cute little fluffy fat animals on like a beige or a natural or a flaxen Ada. And so when I was looking at my little black cat kit, that's when I found the Sparrow. So I went ahead and got it. It was on sale. And I did this in a day and a half. Like I did it between patients while I was at work. So it fixed up, put it together pretty quickly. So the only other little bit of haul I want to show you is I got more, they're in a Ziploc baggie, but I got more of those like thread spools that are meant to go around spools of thread and hug them so that the end of the thread stays in place. But you know, we use them for, a lot of people use them for the edges of your Q-snaps to hold your fabric up so you're not constantly fighting with it. So I just got some more of those. And then the other thing I got was, I mean, it doesn't seem that revolutionary, but I got a hoop. I got a hoop. And it's not one of the styles of hoop where you twist it, like you twist a little screw at the top to tighten it. It's got one of those squeezy kind of tensions. This is more of like a classic style. Like this is the kind of hoop that I learned on. I remember, I think my mom actually still has the hoop that she was like training me on. That's may at one point in time have been white, but now it's like yellow with age. But I just got this at Hobby Lobby. It's just got like the little, here, I'll try to take it apart. Just got those little squeezy tension. So you put, you know, this part down, put your fabric over it, and then squeeze it. Ooh, if I can, there we go. Squeeze it to get it back in place. And that's it. Easy on, easy off. That's why I did it. That's why I wanted this one instead of like the screw kind. And I wanted to get a hoop because I wanted to. I like the tension that you can get with a hoop, and I liked that this is quick removal and quick setup. And so I'm gonna try this on my next project. All right, so next I want to do my whip updates. I feel like I was able to make some pretty good progress from my last whips. I have, other than the Sparrow, which I started and finished, I have 3 other whips to show you. So let's do that. Alrighty, so the first one I want to show you that I worked on, I mentioned last time, and that is my Christmas Cuddle Stocking by Kooler Design Studio. I wanted to make sure I got some progress on this just because, you know, as the year goes by, I'm getting closer and closer to Christmas. So ideally, I would like to have this done before Christmas, like well enough to have finished it and sewn it into a stocking. We'll see if that happens. But this is the first one that I want to show you. So what I'll do now is I will insert a picture here of what it looked like the last time I showed you that project, so you can see kind of where I left off. I think I really only had like a little bit of the mantle at the top done. And this is what it looks like now. Ta-da! So, the pattern is broken up kind of down the middle, but because it's a stocking, like there really isn't a definitive middle. So it's like page, 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 and then page, page, and this would be the heel and the toe. So I am finishing up this first page. This is obviously where the page ends, but the edge of the stocking is probably about there. So, and I counted it, it's exactly 30 stitches to the edge. So about there. I'd say this is like 2/3 of the top of the stocking. So I finished the very top of the mantle. I finished the garland that goes across until the page end. I finished the top of this mantle here where the fireplace is starting to come in, and then down this column on the side. And then obviously the stockings have gone in. This is like some shadow work underneath inside the fireplace itself. And then I've started the flame right here. So there's a little bit more flame work that goes in there. And then all of this is the chair. The chair that they're sitting on. So I have to like here. And I'm about to start getting this part in. And the more that I've stitched this, the more like impressed I am with the rendering of this. So like, as you can see in the shadow here, this is purple. And even in the shadow, like up here, this is like a periwinkle blue. And while I was putting it in, I was like, there's no way that color's right. And I checked and triple checked and I was like, no, it's right. But when you pull it back, it just looks like a shadow. Like I never would have, the way they've rendered, I mean, I'm sure it's just a computer program that did it, but the way they've rendered it, they've used color really creatively. And I really appreciate the way that they've done that. It just looks very dimensional from back here. I love that. And I mean, I remember having the same thought about whenever the garland was going in, like these really bright greens in here, whenever they would go in, I'm like, the color change is too stark. It doesn't up close, it just doesn't look seamless. But, you know, back here, it just looks very dimensional. It looks very dynamic. And anyways, I've really enjoyed putting all of these stitches in and kind of sort of discovering all these little tidbits about the pattern. So I'm excited to see what else I come across as I'm working on this. The only specialty stitches that are in this pattern are, I believe, whiskers, the cat whiskers, and then there's some French knots up here that are just like berries or whatever in the garland, and that's it. So it's a really simple pattern. It's just full coverage. Yeah. So, and I just realized I haven't put the date that I started this on there, but because I'm not totally sure if I'm gonna stitch right up against the edge of the stitches or if I'm gonna leave this sort of border around it like I talked about last time, I might just put the date like on the stitching, maybe on the edge here, I don't know. And then of course I am gonna add my name. Yeah, I am gonna add my name. I was just checking the pattern to see if they had an alphabet in there for you to reference, because I know sometimes whenever you're making, like, I think the dimension stockings, they have an alphabet for you to reference whenever you want to add a name, but there isn't one, which just means I can find my own. And there's a million different cross stitch fonts to use. So maybe I'll try and do something cursive. Like maybe I'll do like cording, like a red cording, and do like a cursive Kelly across the top. That'd be cool, right? So yeah, this is my Christmas Cuddles stocking. And I've got stockings on my stocking. I think that's very cute. And oh, and here's those like thread spool holders like I was telling you all that I have. So I just use it to like grip the rest of my Ada and grip this part down here. And this is just like a hair thing. All right, so the next project update I want to give you is on my Dimensions kit from their basic collection, Frederick the Literate. There's him sleeping on the bookcase. I'm really excited about this one because I think I mentioned last time my friend Jen, who is the Backcountry Stitcher, did this project, and she had finished it as a fully finished object on her page, and it just looked fantastic the way she had it framed. So I'm really excited to get to the same place. I will insert a picture here. The last time I showed it on the channel, I think I had just finished his head and then put in maybe like one of the books. I don't remember. You'll see. But here's where I am now. So he's all done. And then I finished most of this book here. Actually, I think, yeah, most of that book there. I just have to do the title, and then a lot of the books I'm leaving out like these blank spaces because there's a gold blending filament that you use in those spots, and I want to do them just like all in one fell swoop. And then this little hole is the tail. There's like a fish mounted on this pole right here, and that's where the tail goes. So finish this book. I just got to do this section on this book and then start. This is where the page break is. It's like right here. So what I'm going to do is the pattern's broken up into quadrants. I'm just going to finish this quadrant and then go that way and finish the bookshelf. So I'm going to get the rest of this book in and then get the little fishy in. And then there's, I got to finish the shelf he's laying on and do the back stitching on his face. And then this pattern is kind of repeated up here for the top of the bookshelf. So I got to do that and finish this book. And then I think there's actually a skinny book right here. And that's what I'm going to do the next time I bring this out and work on it, is I'm going to try and power through the rest of that, and then I can move my Q-snap. So there he is. There's Frederick the Literate. He's super cute. And I really love these colors. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like working on Black Ada because it's a little bit harder to see the holes, and it is. But I really like the way these colors are popping on the Black Ada. What I find helps me is stitching with like a white blanket or like a pillow in my lap that's a little bit lighter, and that helps the holes stand out some more. There he is though. Look at him, he's so sleepy. He's so cute. I really like this pattern because my parents have a tabby. His name is Baxter, and he looks just like this. So that's what I think of whenever I work on this project, is Baxter. So, but this one's Frederick. He's not Baxter. So this last whip that I want to show you, I actually worked on last time and showed you in my last update, but I just felt like continuing. I didn't want to put her away just yet because my last month wasn't really very productive, so I wanted to get some more stitches in her before I put her away. And that is Ophelia by Mirabilia. There she is in all her glory. Let's see if I can focus. There it goes. So I will show you real quick what it looked like the last time I did an update on her. And I just did a little bit more. I mean, it's not insane progress, but I'm pleased with what I was able to do. So here she is now. So what I was able to get done last time, I think I stopped right around the edge of this floral piece here, and I had this done. So everything down here, and then I think a little bit of this over here wasn't in yet. And then here is the page break. If you're familiar with Mirabilia patterns, they're divided into a top and a bottom, and then here's the edge of the top. So I'm just going to keep going across, and then I'll flip it over and do the bottom. And normally I would probably keep, I mean, I'm doing like a cross-country method, but so normally I would continue these colors into the bottom page. But if you've worked in Mirabilia, you know how uncomfortable it is to continue to flip the pattern over and over especially when you're like me and you have it attached to your project while you're stitching. So I just decided, like, screw it, I'm just gonna go ahead and finish stitching all the way across, and then I'll flip it and do the bottom. But yeah, so I just need to finish, let's pop the picture back up here. So I just need to finish this part here. I got this lily pad on this side, you know, there's some space here, so I gotta finish like this middle part of her dress, and then we're gonna go down. Oh, that reminds me. Okay, so I did change something. I don't know if this is a mistake in the pattern or what, but if you look right here, right in the middle of her dress is this dark purple section that just looks like a blob of color. Like this color appears other places in the pattern, like mostly in the middle of like a lot of the flowers, you know, the little pink roses, but it doesn't appear anywhere else on her dress. So why it's here, I don't know, it just looks weird. I don't know if it's a mistake in the printing of the pattern. I don't know. But there is a cross stitcher. I don't know if he has a Flosstube or not, but his name is Dune, D-E-W-N X Stitch. And I'll link his stuff down below. And he has an Instagram that I follow, but he's also I'm in a Facebook group that's just dedicated to Mirabilia conversions, because that's like his thing. He loves to convert Mirabilias. He changes their faces. Sometimes he changes the positions of their hands, their hair. Anyways, he did Ophelia, and he just changed this to one of the surrounding thread colors, and I just went ahead and did that too. It just made more sense to me than having, this is where it's supposed to be right here. It just made more sense to me than having that random purple blob in the middle of a dress that doesn't quite fit. So just in case you're curious what the thread colors are that I converted, so here's my little floss drop holders. So this is the purple that's originally charted there. That's DMC 154. And like I said, it does show up in the flowers a little bit. And then I changed it to this color here, which is DMC 840. It's just more of like a taupe color. And it appears in other places on our dress where the dress is supposed to be sort of kind of underwater a little bit. So it just made more sense to, I mean, it's in the surrounding stitches in that spot, so it just made more sense to make it that color. So there she is. That's what I've done, is just sort of this kind of chunk here, and then this last little teeny tiny piece of the border. So I'm just going to keep working this way until I get to the other end of the border, and then the other lilies that are here, or not lilies, lily pads, and then go down. Okay, so those were the whips that I was able to work on these last few weeks. So let's talk about plans for next month. So as you know, next month is May, which is Stitch Mania. But I don't think I'm gonna participate in Mania the traditional way. Like, I would like to do something for it, but I don't want to do like the one new start for every day in May. I just that's too many whips and that's overwhelming to me. However, what I am going to do is I want to allow myself one new start, and then kind of dedicate some time to that for Stitch Mania. But I'm having some trouble deciding which one I want to start. So I've narrowed it down. There's 3 projects that I'm going to show you real quick that hopefully you can help me decide on. 2 of them I already have the fabric and the thread for because they're kit. And then the other one I already have the fabric for, and the thread won't be difficult to come by. So I will show you those. And then if you want, just comment down below which one you think I should do. And I'll take those sort of comments into consideration. And then I'll show you my next update, which one I started. So let me show you that real quick, and then we'll go over other plans. So the first choice I want to show you, and again, you've seen all of these in my stash videos, but I'll go over where I got them and when I got them and why I got them again. So this first one is called American Wildflowers. American Wildflowers by Thea Guoverneur. Forgive me, I'm an ignorant American, so I don't know how to pronounce it. But this is a kit that I got from a craft store near me called Hobby Lobby. If you're unfamiliar with it, it's basically like a big chain of craft stores that have, you know, cross-stitching and quilting, and every hobby you can imagine exists within that store. So they had this one there, and I jumped on it. But I changed the fabric. So the fabric that came in it is I think it's a 14 count white Aida. It doesn't say. No, it doesn't say. Oh no, it does. It's a 16 count white Aida, but it's like a really flimsy kind of crummy Aida. And like the threads on it are really thin, but because they're spaced out like a 16 count, when you stitch in it, they collapse in on themselves. And that makes the holes between all the squares like really big and noticeable. And then on top of that, the kit calls for 1 thread. So you're doing 1/1 stitching. And for a 16 count, that's just not, it's not very good coverage. So I switched it out, and I got this blush 20 count Aida from Everything Cross Stitch. So that's what I'm going to use instead. So it's going to have like a soft pink back to it. Let me see if I can show you some of the flowers a little bit closer. It's pretty good size. It's pretty big. It is, let me see if I can find the dimensions. 19.3 by 26.4 inches. So that, I mean, that's more than 2 feet tall on a 16 count Aida. I don't know what the conversion on a 20 count Aida. I don't know what the converted size is, but I mean, that's a pretty good size. It's still gonna be pretty big. But anyways, this is my first option. And like I said, I have the fabric, I have the floss because it's a kit. The next option I'm pretty excited about. This was the one I kind of was like, I'm gonna do that one. And then I thought, well, I could do other ones. And that is this kit by Letistitch. This is called Into Dreamland. Sorry for the crackling noise. Into Dreamland. So this beautiful woman has fallen asleep reading in a field of gorgeous flowers, and there's some birds, and is it just birds? Yeah, there's some birds there's a bird's nest here just kind of surrounding her while she dreams about what she just read. And this one is cool because it's done on an Aida, on a 16 count Aida, and it's gridded. Isn't that stinking cool? Since it's a full coverage. That was nice of them. I would have gridded it if it wasn't, so no, I don't have to. And it's done with anchor floss. So even though it comes on the cards, like the Riolis kit, it is a cotton floss. Like you would still have to separate it for your strands. The color palette is really pretty. Let's see, it's 52 colors. The finished dimensions is 17.4 inches by 11.6 inches. And, oh, and then here's the other thing. It shows you like what kind of stitches you'll be doing. So there is just 2/1 full cross, and then there's a blended thread with one of one color and one of another full cross. And there is some back stitching as well. It looks like it's on these pink flowers. Oh, is that it? I don't know if this is a moth or a butterfly, but there's some back stitching there. And then her dress has some cool back stitching detail. Every time I look at this, I notice something new. Like I didn't notice the bird's nest until earlier. That's pretty cool. It's cute. So anyways, this is my second option. This is kind of the one I'm leaning towards, but I don't know. I may change my mind because it is full coverage, and full coverage is a bigger workload than the other projects that I've chosen. So here is Into Dreamland by Letistitch. Alrighty, the last of my options for new starts for Stitch Mania is a long dog sampler. This is the pointed fifth, and I bought this one because I love all the different, there's like, actually I think it says in the pattern, there's a bajillion different animals in here. Over 100, it says over 100 little varmints. And then, yeah. So this is the only project that obviously is not a kit, so it doesn't have the threads already, but I do have a fabric for it. I went ahead and got a 32 count Lugana in the color Exotic Orchid, and this came from Everything Cross Stitch. And so it is an even weave, and it is like a berry purple. Purple's my favorite color, so I just thought this was fun. And I'll insert a picture. I did have a color palette in mind for the threads that I wanted to choose for this one. I'll insert that here. And I think with this as the background, those colors will look really, really good together. So let me show you the pattern again. Here is the pointed fifth, and the pointed fifth is referring to, it's an architectural style. It's referring to like these bits here. There's actually a picture. Yeah. So that's where the inspiration for this pattern came from. And then I just love all the different animals. And the thing that I also really like about long dog samplers is there's like crowns everywhere. Like there's crowns all over this. Or like there's a crown there. There's top hats. There's a top hat there. It's like all of the animals are wearing head ornamentation, which is just stinking cute. So I'm also on Facebook. I'm also in a long dog sampler group where they post different projects that they're working on. So I've seen a couple of really cool color variations of this one, and of course of other long dog samplers. So if this is the one you think I should start, let me know, and I will show you. I think, you know, I'll probably give it a week or so just to see what people say, and then, because I do obviously, I mean, May starts tomorrow, so, but I do obviously want to give people time to give me their opinion, and then next week I'll bust it out and get started, probably on my new hoop. So the last thing that I want to do for next update is I desperately need to put some stitches into Woodland Castle. I've said I'm going to do it for like 2 updates now, and I still haven't. So it's feeling neglected. It's my biggest project. It's a full coverage project. So I debated doing a monogamous mania with just that one. But I think that would make for a boring update. Also, I think I would get bored myself after like 2 weeks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and dedicate some time to Woodland Castle, and then dedicate some time to my new start, and then just try and stick with those 2 and see how much progress I can get done on those 2 projects for Mania. And then hopefully I'll have a good update for you at the end of May. Anyways, that is, I'm just double checking here. Yes, that's okay. That's everything I have to share with you for my cross-stitching update this month. And if you have any questions or comments about anything you've seen today, put them down below. I will link everything that I mentioned today down below. And that is it for this month. So if you are participating in Mania, let me know what you're doing. I will absolutely cheer you on. I know Mania can be kind of a crazy time for a lot of cross-stitchers, but that's what we're here for. We support each other in our crazy endeavors. So just drop me a comment, let me know what you're doing. And other than that, I will see you guys next month. All right, have a good night. Bye.